That's sleep paralysis and hypnagogic hallucinations. But interestingly, we've got an email on the same topic. 28-year-old healthy female, I'm having seizures in my sleep. I pissed the bed multiple times, but only after drinking too much. That's drinking too much.
Hi, I'm Dr. Drew, and this is Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children.
There we go. Welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. I'm very excited about today's show. I'll tell you about it in just a minute, but be sure to keep the emails coming at drdrewafterdark@gmail.com and our voice messages, which you know how much I love, at 818-253-1693. So today we have a very, I want to manage expectations. I'm excited about today's podcast, today's After Dark. I almost call it just a podcast. How dare I? I started reflecting upon my history here at your mom's house. And I started thinking, wow, what an extraordinary journey this has been. I was asked, well, the way it really started was my wife and I were watching Christina's comedy special. Do you know this history, Zolo?
Yeah.
And by the way, it's just Zolo and I today. Well, and some of the boys in the booth, but Annie and Nadav are out. So Zolo very kindly helped me craft this very special episode. And I'll explain to you what it is in just a minute. But it started with me watching Mother, what was Christina's?
Mother Inferior.
Mother Inferior. And I said, that's an interesting woman. She is very smart. And my wife said, I'm going to get her for a podcast. And she did. And it turned out she was a big Celebrity Rehab fan. And so I was doing a podcast at that time with Bob Forrest, who was the guy with the hat and the glasses from Celebrity Rehab. And she came on and we struck it off. And I didn't think anything really more of it. And then Tom came on after that. And we did another little interesting podcast. And then they asked me to come on your mom's house. And I was aware of your mom's house. I was not fully indoctrinated, would probably be close to the right word. I hadn't been fully exposed to what your mom's house is really all about. So I came in naively, and that was back when Tom and Christina were doing out of their, was that a garage or something, or a guest house? Or I didn't know what was going on. And they had babies at the time. There were babies running around the house. How long ago was it? Like 4 years, 4 years ago?
Yeah, like 4 years ago.
Woo. And I really didn't think, and I had a great time and I enjoyed spending time with them, but I didn't think much of it until I was at a MTV Video Movie Awards. And some woman ran up to me like, oh my God, I loved you on your mom's house. And I thought, that's interesting. I haven't had that reaction about something in a long time. I wonder if that means something. And then that started happening, that people were sort of reacting to me being on your mom's house. And it kind of, I don't know what chord I had struck because I didn't really fully understand the your mom's house world, certainly not the way I do now. But it was intriguing to me. And then Tom called me, or actually I think he called my wife and said, let's have dinner and talk about doing some sort of show. And I thought, well, that makes sense because it seems like that world welcomed me in very kindly. And we weren't really sure what we were going to do. Actually, the original idea was Christina's, that she was so interested in comedians' brains, which are all kind of the same, that she wanted me to kind of pick some comedian's brain. If you remember in the beginning of the show, I'd have a comedian guest in here every time. And then we sort of morphed into me and Christina talking about stuff, and now we're still sort of in that zone. But it occurred to me that wouldn't it be interesting to go back over my history with your mom's house and look back through the retrospectoscope, through the looking glass of what maybe that, is this the first appearance, Zolo? Just that, I think I did 2 appearances maybe. I can't really remember.
You did like 5 appearances.
No. I know I did, but I mean the original, the early one.
Yeah, you were at their house twice.
Twice, that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought I was there twice. And I don't really know the difference between those 2 appearances, though I think the second one hit a little harder in terms of people's sensibilities around your mom's house. I don't know how to use language as it comes to your mom's house, but it's extraordinary. It's been a great experience, and I'm deeply, deeply, as you know, I've expressed many times, privileged and grateful to be a part of this community. But that feeling caused me to think, I wonder how I saw things back then when I was exposed to some of these videos that we, again, using language carefully, analyze. what were my reactions back in those days? And wouldn't it be interesting if we looked at those videos again, some of the classics? I mean, even just look, I don't see it up there. I don't even think you have a Home. Oh, you do. Home Here Now. Right now. And that, right, Zolo?
Those are two different videos, actually, but we could go and look at RPC, too.
Yeah, because I remember being disturbed, sad, upset about RPC in the beginning. And now he's my dearest friend. And I visited his home and wouldn't say broke bread, but stood over the bread that was covered with flies that lived in his kitchen. Anyway, my relationship was evolved quite considerably with many of these folks whose videos we were looking at. And as you know, I'm interested in like tightening that relationship with many of the people that show up on the videos here. Do we also have voice messages today too, or are we going to stay with the videos?
Yeah, we do.
All right, so let's do some basic so your mom after dark stuff to start with. We'll do some email and voice messages, and then we'll go in deep in revisiting old Your Mom's House videos and my reaction to them, and then how I feel about them now. And I'm expecting to feel a feeling that I feel often on this show, which is shame. So and that seems to be the thing that people like the most, is when I am ashamed and upset. So here we go. Let's see. Your Mom's House, Mommy Jeans, Booth Boys. I got herpes when I was 17. Boyfriend at the time. The only breakout I've ever had was on my puss. Yes, I'm 25. My daughter's 2 years old. I was on medication the whole pregnancy to suppress an outbreak. That's true. Even though you hadn't had one over 5 years. I ended up having pretty severe preeclampsia. That has nothing to do with any of this. Daughter was 4 pounds. I was told she had cytomegalovirus. Oof. She took valcyclovir for the first month, maybe a few months of her life, until eventually she tested negative for CMV and stopped taking it. That's a pretty heavy situation. My question is, does this mean my daughter has herpes? No, it does not mean that. Or is it also possible I may never have another outbreak again? You can't rely on that. It tends to reduce in intensity and frequency, and it almost seems like it's never coming back, but it can come back. And oftentimes what's interesting, anything that irritates your puss, if I could use your own colloquialism, with endearment, that's a term of endearment, of course. If you get some irritation on your puss, it can activate it. Also, exposure to somebody new who doesn't have to. Sometimes I've noticed that tends to create outbreaks. Piss me, beat me, you bet your ass I'm coming up in May. So there you go. Give me a voice message there, Zolo.
Hello, my kings and queens above 18.
Thank you for making me comfortable.
This is Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
I had a question. So I smoke a lot of marijuana, and a lot of times when I smoke marijuana and masturbate, my white comes out, and I have this extreme feeling of being freezing and shivering cold to the point where my teeth chatter in my mouth. My whole body just shakes like crazy.
Wow.
So, I was just wondering what was up with that.
Well, great question. I don't know. It's obviously autonomic arousal, right? That's what happens when you have sexual arousal. And we know that the heavy, like high potency cannabis affects that. My bet is that you're going to have some of those vomiting syndromes that we now know so well. They used to call it scromiting. We've talked about it before on this show, that people that smoke a lot of high potency pot or weed will develop vomiting. And it's part of this autonomic imbalance that high potency cannabis seems to create. I don't have any, it doesn't mean there's something desperately wrong with you or anything like that. It's just part of, taking drugs. 30-year-old female with high sex drive, but only get off with a vibrator. The problem is that men can't understand that. I'm always happy to be there, have a fun time, very much enjoy myself, but it's not going to happen with just sex alone, which is okay with me. Men don't get it and don't want to stop until I come, despite I'm telling them it won't happen. That means I almost always have to fake an orgasm. Oh, boy. I love sex. There's only so long I can go before one isn't having fun anymore. I feel bad faking, and I'm sure the man would also hate knowing I did. What do I suggest? What do you think, Zolo? I'll get a young man's perspective on this. I have my own thinking. Go ahead.
I think being honest with him is probably the best bet, and just let him know what you need.
That's right. And what do you think of guys that won't accept that and won't allow a vibrator in the room?
I think they need to grow up.
I think they need to grow up too, Zolo. Thank you. As a young man's perspective. And I think that it's almost a barometer for whether you should be with the guy. To me, it's like, come on,
absolutely.
dude, give me a break. And men have this sort of need for their penis to be magically, able to satisfy every woman. It's just not the way females work. You're fine. Good for you for understanding all this and finding a mechanism that works great for you. And now how about finding a man that goes along with that? That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Go ahead. Give me a voice message.
Hey, Dr. Drew. This is Kyle from Bakersfield. I have a Brown question.
Of course.
I am a recovering heroin addict, 10 months clean, and I'm on about 12 milligrams of Suboxone a day. And I realized that whenever I started using opioids like heroin or Suboxone, my brown would sink rather than float. Other than that, my diet's pretty normal. I just wanted to know what makes some brown sink and what makes others float, or if there's anything I need to get checked out. I love the content. Thank you guys. Till somebody beat me. You bet I'm coming up in May.
Yeah, buddy. So a couple things. Gay, congratulations on doing something about your opiate addiction. You got to understand how fatal this is. I'm sure you've lost friends, and so you understand how bad it is. So good for you. 12 milligrams Suboxone, not bad. Keep going down. That's good. And good on you for being such a scientist and a spelunker. God only knows the Ennies of the world couldn't even look down there and check things out. It'd be too horrifying to them. They'd be, again, fearful that a hand would come up and grab their face. But be that as it may, it is typically fat content that causes floating, though also density. So it makes me think that perhaps you're a little more constipated when you start the opiates, and that's causing it to get a little more compacted, and that's probably what's going on there. Give me another one, another voice message.
Hey, mommies, it's Nora, all the way from Minnesota.
Yeah, Nora.
Just wondering why when I take a shower, I get all these, like, red, itchy spots, like, on my chest and my back, and it goes up on my chin and my face.
Oh, boy.
No one has, like, really given me a good answer to what it is, so
yeah,
I'd appreciate an answer. Thanks, mommies.
Yeah, mommy.
Piss on me, beat me.
Of course.
I'm coming up in May. See you then.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you then. I like the way Zolo, our aloha, has expanded from just hey Hitler to a whole litany of descriptions about coming up in May and beat me, and it's sort of that's our aloha. That's
it's always expanding.
Yeah. It's gonna take 5 minutes for some people to say hello or goodbye on this show coming forward. So it sounds like that's urticaria. You can look up urticaria online. You'll see it's just hives essentially. And there can be heat-induced and cold-induced urticaria. And it sounds like you have this heat-induced urticaria. I would see a doctor about it. There can be some medical conditions associated with that. It sounds like you've had this for a while, so it's probably not going to be an issue. I suspect you're probably an allergic person generally. You may have something called atopy, A-T-O-P-Y. In which case, I think you sound a little congested when you were talking, so I'm suspecting I'm correct. And they may want to help you with the nasal atopy and sort of give you anti-allergy medicines and things like that, get things under control. These are good ones. Give me another one.
Hey, Dr. Drew, this is Caleb. I have my friend Jeff here, and I've been listening to you talk about the past few weeks how you can have a hands-free orgasm, but there has to be something touching it to make white, right? So my friend Jeff here says that he can make that happen with music. Have you ever ran into anything like that without having to feather it or feather it up against anything? Just the sound of music make you white. Thanks. Love to hear it. Keep them high and tight. I'm coming up in May.
I've seen people have spontaneous orgasms when they're in kind of an altered state, either by drugs or mania and things like that. This doesn't make any sense to me in terms of if he's a normal guy. I'm wondering if he's perfected sort of contracting the musculature in such a way as, sometimes people can have an orgasm from doing like leg lifts and things like that. Maybe he's doing something like that when he hears the music. He definitely have him call in. Definitely have him send it in. We'd like to hear more about that. Another one.
Hey, Dr. Drew and the boys in the booth.
Yeah, boys.
So my question revolves around what I believe is sleep apnea, or maybe not sleep apnea, but more sleep paralysis. Since I was little, I've had what I can only describe as being conscious but unable to move my body. And it ultimately resolves itself in about maybe 2 to 3 minutes of me being awake, but usually during that time I'll have a panic attack or my heart rate will go up because I'm, freaking out because I can't move. Had this for a long time, still get it now. In my late 20s, had it since I was a child. I was wondering if there's anything I could do to fix it, if I should maybe get a sleep test or something of that nature. But, appreciate your help.
Excellent. Yeah, great question. And common problem, though the persistence and frequency you're having is kind of weird. Because of that, I would see a sleep specialist. You may not even need a sleep study. You may just need somebody to think about this problem in the context of who you are and how they find you when they do an exam on you. But that's sleep paralysis. It's a very common thing. The interesting thing about sleep paralysis, and given how many times you've had this, you probably had this experience, that it's often associated with hypnagogic hallucinations. So you're still asleep when you're in sleep paralysis, even though your eyes are open and you're thinking and you feel awake, you're actually not awake. And you can actually keep dreaming when you're in that state. People often do. Because again, our brain is constructed in such a way that it's always trying to make sense of things that are happening. And so it will literally, when you're in a dream, it sort of converts thinking into images, right? And people will believe there's something lying on top of them, a ghost, a devil, something's trying to have sex with them. Many times women will have that kind of a fantasy with the sleep paralysis. And they can be very long and very prolonged. In fact, in people that have studied the folks that have these elaborate reports of having been taken on an alien ship and all that stuff, the evidence is that that's all hypnagogic hallucination during a sleep paralysis. So the dreams and the experiences can be quite vivid, but they're often sort of terrifying, and they're often involved something lying on top, and they also involve the devil or a ghost or something having sex with them, that kind of thing. So that's sleep paralysis and hypnagogic hallucinations. But interestingly, we've got a email along the same topic. 28-year-old healthy female, I'm having seizures in my sleep. I piss the bed multiple times, but only after drinking too much. That's drinking too much. That's not anything. People, when they get up in the middle of the night and pee on the side of the bed, or pull up their suitcase and pee into it thinking it's a toilet, that's all alcohol. And also losing your urine in the middle of the night, because when you drank a lot, alcohol. All right, so that's alcohol. But multiple sleep partners have told me I twitch and move a lot in my sleep. I've woken myself up feeling my arm hit the headboard. I also had very vivid dreams, and a few times I've woken up because I was laughing so hard in the dream I felt like I was shaking when I first woke up. I also regularly have lucid sex dreams and achieve orgasms while sleeping. Several orgasms. Good for her. I'm not taking any medication, but these symptoms are worse if I'm drinking. Okay. Am I having a seizure, or am I just a talked sleeper? Somebody beat me. Thanks for coming up. Blah, 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 blah. So these are interesting. This is another kind of sleep disorder called sleep movement disorder. And, leg restlessness, sleep movement. People will jump up in bed and lie back down and throw their arms around, and the legs classically move around. And it makes me wonder, given that a lot of your stuff is related to alcohol, if these are days when you don't drink and you're having not the vivid dreams so much, you say that gets worse when you are drinking, but the movement can get worse from alcohol withdrawal. So it makes me wonder, for the 4 or 5 days after you drink heavily, if this gets worse or not. So that may be contributing to this. But this is also another classic sleep disorder and has a lot of treatments, and you should see a sleep specialist, because this can really disrupt your ability to feel rested and have normal sleep, and good for you on the vivid sex dreams. So, all right, it's time for us to walk down memory lane as I have promised. Shall we start with that, or should we do some YMH clips? I'm just intrigued by so many of the new clips that are up there. We may have to wait till another show to get into all those.
Up to you. I mean, whatever you want to do, we can do.
Oh my God. Let's sort of start out with some new ones, just so I kind of wet my palate a little bit and get myself up to. Let's see. Not interested in gold diggers. Let's look at that one. So get my energy flowing here. Not interested in gold diggers.
I just got one thing to say. If you're a gold digger and you try to go out with me, don't bother. If you are not in it for the love, the affection, and the loyalty I have to give, you're not worth my time. Every woman that has started to follow me on both TikTok and Instagram have been nothing but gold diggers.
Interesting.
I am actually trying to find the future of my life. It's disappointing how people only care about money.
Yeah, I can see how he'd be disappointed. How in the world would he know that women are after him for his money? I mean, judging by the living environment in which he finds himself there, that's a big mattress up against the wall, and those lovely shades, and that really high-tech chair he's in. This guy must be worth some dough, right, Zolo?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he's got extraordinarily expensive glasses and hat on, and the grooming, boy, that must really cost some money. So how would he even know they were gold diggers? That's what I don't understand.
Well, I think what we put together was women weren't interested in him because he was so broke that he is making it out to be that they're all gold diggers.
Of course. I should have. Yes. This is sort of a version of Dunning-Kruger, which is if you're not interested in me, you must be gay, you must be a gold digger, you must be not into guys with beards, fill in the blank. It can't be me. And that's a common defense mechanism for people that should take a good look at themselves. And by the way, how else are you going to adjust course if you don't take a look at yourself? You know what I mean? This guy probably needs, if he wants to date people, there might be some things he can do to make himself more appealing and more sort of eligible. Hang on, my earpieces. Oh, what are you saying?
What kind of things?
Maybe grooming, maybe some new eyewear, maybe not that hat all the time. Maybe clean up his bedroom a little bit. I mean, women are very, look, when women, I've heard women say this a million times, when they look at what's going on, say, a dating app, okay, and they are evaluating a guy's picture or videos, whatever else that they're sort of given as a decision-making evidence for whether to sweep right or left, they will always say, I'm looking at the curtains, I'm looking at how clean his room is, I'm looking at his taste in clothing. They are taking in the whole deal. I know as men, we don't look at any of that. I understand. But if you want to appeal to women, they're looking at the whole deal. Now, I don't want to take aim at that beard specifically, because there might be people that are into that. And that's a very unique and interesting thing you have there, sir. But if you want to expand your field, if that's what you're interested in, you might want to look at what appeals to more people than just a tiny piece of the market. Just saying. And I'm for sure can tell you that the window dressings and the mattress behind you and am I seeing this right, Zolo? The filth up there on the ceiling, none of that's going to work.
Yeah, it looks pretty dirty.
Yeah, it's like tobacco or something. Tobacco stains. It's disgusting. Even I'm disgusted. So, well, you've heard me on the show before. We talk about, getting what you need. Our relationships should add value to our lives. And of course, the sexual part of that, the physical piece, is very, very important, everybody. So sometimes you might want to think the same way about the sex toys, because they can be very useful. Dame Products, women-owned sex toy company, making the next generation of vulva-tested, vulva-approved vibrators so that women are trying it themselves, created by women for women. Founded by a sex educator and engineer, Dame develops toys with the help of real humans and couples like you. So they're testing it to get people what they want. They're closing the so-called pleasure gap and helping the world, what they say, one vulva at a time. The vibrators and accessories are made with medical-grade silicone, smart design principles, and lots of love, earning glowing press from the New York Times, W Magazine, many more. Whether you're a couple looking for an extra boost where it matters or on a journey of self-exploration, again, for women, sometimes we hear about women that aren't able to achieve orgasm. This is all the kind of thing you can use to help yourself. We are sure this can earn a place on your nightstand. And the best part, Dame offers hassle-free returns within 60 days, so your satisfaction is literally guaranteed, or your money back. So I want you to go to dameproducts.com/Drew today for 15% off site-wide. You're going to be happy you did. Again, go to dameproducts.com/Drew today for 15% off site-wide. Next up, our friends at Freshly. They offer chef-made, nutrient-packed, delicious meals delivered fresh to your door. No cooking required even. Groceries, cooking can be a pain, especially right now. With Freshly, you don't have to. Your meals arrive cooked, fresh every week. Keep them fresh in your fridge, stocked, and you skip the trip to the store and skip everything. Ordering is easy. Visit freshly.com. Choose from over 30 delicious, satisfying, better-for-you meals like steak peppercorns, sausage baked penne, or chicken pesto bowl. Freshly can fit your lifestyle with a variety of plans and meals to pick from. The one that works for your dietary needs is what they want you to have. Preferences, taste, all of that, family size, all taken into account. And now our listeners can try Freshly for just $6.16 per meal. Stop searching the internet for healthy food near me every night and start living life freshly. Your meals are always delivered fresh, never frozen. They're ready to heat and enjoy in just 3 minutes. That's it. You're ready to go, and it's a great meal with new meals added each week. Freshly brings the convenience of chef-made, nutrition-designed classics right to your kitchen. And right now, Freshly is offering our listeners $40 off your first 2 orders when you go to freshly.com/Drew. Stop stressing about dinner. Go to freshly.com/Drew for $40 off your first 2 orders. That's freshly.com, Freshly, freshly.com/Drew for $40 off your first 2 orders. Let's see. Hey, Mommy, sometimes when I eat a good meal, I just can't hold it down. I feel sick or anything. It just comes up fast randomly. It makes me not want to go out to eat anymore. Thanks for the help, Hitler from Rhode Island. That is reflux, or spontaneous vomiting is actually a big problem, and it may not be just related to meals. It's something that probably will happen with sort of large meals or rich meals, that kind of thing. But it can be a lot of things, whether it's a gastric outlet obstruction from an ulcer, whether it's, it can be so many things, and some of them are serious. And if it's just reflux and esophagitis, that's something that needs work. And as we talked earlier, if you're using a lot of weed, that can set up heavy vomiting, a tendency to vomiting as well. Let's do it, man. Let's go to Hey Hitler. Let's find out where these greetings come from and how I felt about it at the beginning. I don't remember being exposed to this video, so it'll be interesting for me to react now. And then Zolo has done the research and taken some notes on how I actually reacted to these videos back in the day, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And here's the deal. Let's get to it.
It's me, Danny. I just want to let you know there are at least 2 of my Daniacs, or at least a few of my Daniacs that are on the shrimp scampi boat, and they are getting turned into lasagna. So I need your help getting a rescue boat over there, and they really need your help getting rescued. So could you at least please send a rescue boat over there so that way they could be saved, please? I would really appreciate it, babe. Okay? Bye. Love you. Bye.
Where did the Hey Hitler part come into this?
Yeah, I think you missed it. It was right at the top.
Let's do it again real quick, because I was talking over it very quickly.
Hey Hitler.
There it is. So we turned that into Hey Hitler, which I like. Was I aware that at the time when I looked at this video that everyone had made it Hey Hitler?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what she's saying. She's talking to Hitler.
She is? Does she talk more to Hitler?
I mean, that whole video is talking to Hitler.
Well, it sounds like you're saying Hey Hitler, and we turned it into Hey Hitler. No?
No.
Okay. So, all right. So we're all convinced it's Hey Hitler.
Hey Hitler.
And who do we know? I must have had a lot of questions at the time back in the day. Yes, like who is she talking to, and why do we think? What does she think she's doing? And okay. And did Tom and Christina have answers for me?
Yeah, I mean, they explained the whole thing. You know, she's talking to Hitler. But you said that she's severely traumatized and severely psychotic.
Well, psychotic is what I'm worried about, right? Yeah. And so if she really thinks she's talking to Hitler, that's a delusion, right? That's a hallucination, essentially. And that I don't understand what she wants to get fixed. I mean, shrimp, prawns that we're talking about?
Yeah, she says she's on a shrimp scampi boat.
And then I worry that there's even more crazy stuff going on. I mean, look behind her. Oh my God. If anybody's picture shows up on there, you should be kind of concerned. This is like, serial killers putting up, temples to a given individual. Do we have any sense of what's behind her there?
I'm not quite sure.
God, can we zero in anymore on that? I don't know why I wasn't more fascinated by that last time, because that's what you call a tell. There's a lot of information in there. Ooh, come on now. You can do this.
I don't think I can zoom in.
What do you think that is?
There are different posters of, I guess, different, maybe like musicians, singers.
I don't think there's one with a signature on it there in the far left of the screen. The weird one that's sort of falling down, I guess, that's actually falling off the wall, I guess. I thought it was some woman put on there sideways. So yeah, I'm very worried about this young lady. Have we had any follow-up?
We played a few videos of her. They're all kind of the same lane.
Do you have anything more for me today? I'd love to see some more.
I could look. I don't have any on hand.
Okay, see if you can get some more up here, because I'm fascinated with this chick. Although... strangely enough, I'm not having the reaction that I often have, which is I want to go visit her and learn more. That's a that also suggests psychosis, because when people have certain kinds of psychotic states, I kind of want to move away. And when people have very strange personality characteristics, I kind of want to go. I want to go investigate, because humans are so interesting. But when you're psychotic, it kind of comes in one flavor, and it's frustrating. All right, what else you got there? Let's see what else up next on our hit list.
Hey,
you got
Hitler. It's me, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
I just want to tell you that Nathaniel Lewis is basically harassing my Daniacs, and he's harassing me. He's threatening to actually kill Kendall Daniac and rape her, and he's also trying to, like, sacrifice Louis to another demon. And he put a love spell on me called PQ. He's been suspended my account like 1,000 of times because he's like overly jealous. He basically is obsessed with me, and he doesn't know anything.
This is not good. Does it keep going?
It does, but so what are you thinking? Same thing, psychotic?
I think I'm right. All the devil stuff and spells and delusions of reference, and oh boy, maybe even hallucinatory. And I still am I'm a little confused by the Hitler part. Does she really think she's talking to Hitler? Is that what you guys think?
Yeah.
Or is it just somebody that identifies themselves as Hitler who listens to her? You know what I mean? Does she think this is the Hitler she's talking to?
I think it's the Hitler.
Does she reference anything from World War II or anything about the military or anything?
No.
And it always opens with "Hi, Hitler."
Yeah.
And it's Danny, right?
Danny, yeah.
A little more. Come on, give me a little more. I can't get...
About me, let's see. I don't know anything right now, but you know what? I just want to tell you that that I think Nathaniel Lewis is trying to get rid of all my Daniacs because he's like obsessed with me.
How do we miss this? The Daniacs.
Yeah, those are her fans.
I get it. The Daniacs. Yeah. We need to talk to some Now, those are people I'm interested in. Yeah. Who are the Daniacs? And can they? Have you gone down any rabbit holes with any of them?
I don't think so. No.
All right, that I'm interested in. Nick, that's your project. Get me a Daniac. Okay. I want to know who those people are. I hope Danny or however she identifies herself has gotten some help in the meantime. It's kind of extraordinary that people record her and then sent it to you guys.
I think she's recording herself. Yeah.
But did she send it into you?
She uploads them.
Oh my God. Yeah. She has a website.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Oh, bless her heart, as they say. Okay, give me another one. Let's go further down the rabbit hole. Here we go.
Another from her?
No. Okay. That's enough with her.
Gotcha.
I just want to meet some Daniacs. That's where I'm interested. Daniacs. It's hysterical. There are certain developmental and personality things that badly traumatized people that can go this way. Do you know like Underdog Woman from a Stern show?
Yeah.
Can you see that same quality here?
Yeah, for sure.
This has some of that same stuff. It's not a happy life if this goes without treated.
And do you think the voice is because of trauma?
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Yeah. I mean, she probably was traumatized. I mean, that sort of goes with all this. And she's, living in that, wherever that environment is there. Okay, enough.
All right. Do you remember these people?
Okay. Let me see.
Hi, I'm Melanie.
And I'm Scotty O.
With Ecstatic Hearts Tantra.
Oh, yeah.
And we just want to share that there are many ways to orgasm. You don't actually have to be having sex. You can orgasm just from hugging.
Okay. So, sort of disgusted by these two. Was I disgusted back then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm having the same emotional reaction I had back then, because I don't like people who are sort of. I don't like that arrogance. Like, well, we're going to tell you how to do it. This woman is highly orgasmic. Some women are highly orgasmic. Some women, you can scratch their palm and they'll have an orgasm. I mean, that's just the way it goes. I probably told the story about a famous person I'm not going to discuss right now, but she said she could have an orgasm by sitting on a cold bathroom floor, and that would be enough. And so some women are very prone, very different than the woman that needs the vibrator, right? That's not you can't go from one version of female to the other. This is just her version. And they discovered that, all kinds of things can create orgasms. So good for them. But the kind of the arrogant kind of, and we're going to, holier than thou attitude. I don't like that. I don't like when we're going to explain to you something. We're going to do some, it's a little bit, it's sex-splaining as opposed to mansplaining. So tell me what I said back then.
Well, do you think she's able to do it just by hugging?
I mean, I wonder, but there is such a thing as people that are highly, highly, highly orgasmic. Who knows? And who knows what's going on under the curtains there? You know what I mean? So
back in the day when you watched this, you said maybe he has like a vibrator or something.
Yeah, maybe
you also
something.
said he's definitely not coming. She might be.
Oh, was he claiming to be coming too?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even take that into that. That wasn't even a possibility this time. I didn't even consider it as a no. Now, in this sort of weird tantric world, they will call heightened sexual arousal they'll call it an orgasm. It is not. The orgasm is followed by detumescence in the vast majority of cases. And if you're not releasing something and then detumescence and having a little refractoriness as a male, I mean, yes, there are such thing as guys that can have one or two orgasms sequentially, but it's really, really rare. And it's not this guy. It's not this guy. All right, give me some more. Or do these guys have more? Do I have to watch more of this?
No, you don't have to.
Well, is there more of them? Give me another. Give me a little more. Whatever I watched before is what I want to watch again.
The whole body can be orgasmic.
I see.
And especially when you start reaching higher states of orgasmic ecstasy, everything can be a trigger for orgasm.
Yeah, I like the way he's like, yeah. Look at her. Look what I do to her.
Boobs, touching your body all over. Eating can be orgasmic.
She may be manic too. That is not happening to him. Trust me. He's just like, whatever you say, honey.
Even within that, there's different levels of orgasm.
Shut up.
It's like a way.
Like the hug we just did was a very low-level orgasm. It's an orgasm, and it's still
for her.
Just about as good.
Yeah,
as
he's pointing at her,
sex.
right? Yeah, for her, right? And he likes giving her orgasms. I get that. Men will go along with anything when they like what a woman is doing. You know what I mean? Zolo, does that sound familiar as a young man? Yeah. She's like, yeah, let's talk. Right, yeah, oh yeah, she's, I'm having an orgasm too. Sure. Ugh, they're gross. These are gross. I don't know. Did I have that same reaction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of this guy? Is this guy gross?
They're just gross. I don't know. God bless their hearts. They're gross. I do remember this.
Before you have sex, if you want to be horny for 2 or 3 hours like you've never been in your life, and you have access to marijuana too, good weed, listen to me.
I can't go on without another nitrous hit. Keep going.
True weed alone can get you really hornier than normal, but Benadryl, take about 10, 12 Benadryl before you want to have your sexual fun with your partner or whatever you do or masturbate.
I forgot that this is where that came from. Yes. Some people actually do.
About an hour later, when you feel it just kicking in, smoke your weed then. And then go ahead and get horny. And I promise you, it'll be millions and times more. You'll be so blissfully horny that you will not want to come. Trust me.
Yeah, you won't be able to either. Trust me. So I'd forgotten this is where all the Benadryl shit came from. It's back in focus. People still ask me about should I take 10 Benadryl. And as I recall, Christina asked me about the Benadryl right out of this video. Is that right?
Yeah.
Like, is that normal to do that? Is that okay to do that? No, it's not good. Benadryl up to about maybe 100 milligrams will make you sedated. When you go above that, it will make you agitated. I guess some people might get a little high from that, but it's really kind of delirium you get into. It's called an anticholinergic delirium. I'm sure I mentioned this as well.
Yep.
And some people will have heightened arousal kinds of feelings sexually in that area. This is, I guess, one of those guys. I think most people, antihistamines can cause them a little bit of increased sexual arousal, just can. But in those higher doses, I would think it would cause delay in ejaculation, if anything. I believe this is where I first introduced Tom and Christina to the stare.
Yep.
And you'll see what the eyes and the white above the eye suggest meth, which is what I'm sure I was seeing here. Although the nitrous could do that too. The nitrous, to be fair, and if you notice as he takes the nitrous balloon, the stare seems to get a little worse. At least I think I picked that up. So we got meth, we got nitrous, we got Benadryl, we got cannabis. This guy is all good. And again, since those days, I have learned to clue into the environment a little more, much like women looking at the dating service websites. I take a good look at the environment now these days when I evaluate Your Mom's House videos. And this dude is all good. He is all class. He's got his closet and his room are the same. And it looks like, I don't know if that's actually a pipe or if that's just some PVC pipe he put up to hang his clothing. Is that a neon light above that, or is that like an air vent?
I think it might be a light.
Light. Sort of seems like the ceiling is sort of open, or if it's not open, there's certainly wires hanging out of the ceiling. What do you make of that thing over the left-hand corner there? That silver thing? See what that is, Zolo? Can you?
I'm not sure. I mean, it looks like he's in a garage. And it's like a garage-type ceiling.
Yeah, it does, but I have a feeling this is his bedroom. This is where this dude lives. I hope he's still alive.
He's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do we find that out?
It was sent in to us. We actually, on this show, revisited him a little while ago when we found out he passed away. We paid a little tribute to him.
Yeah, and I'm guessing this was sort of a Fed smoker death?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, like a meth death and not an opiate death?
Yeah.
Hey, well, good times. Anybody that wants to just look at this guy and go, hey, whatever you're into, man, leave the guy alone. It's like, did I say he was going to die back then?
I don't think you said that specifically.
Yeah, I probably wasn't as bold back then. Now I'm a little bolder in my positions on the guys like this. So when I say I hope he's still alive, what I was thinking was I'm sure he's dead. And he is. Imagine that. Drug addiction, ladies and gentlemen, is a progressive disease that ends in death. And this is not a guy. This is not a dabbler. This is a real deal drug addict. So he's a committed drug addict. So sex, living environment, everything, all about the drugs. And then death. So here we go. Sorry about that. And how did the tribute go?
We found some other videos of his and we played them.
Are you going to help me with some of that? Are you going to show me? What's his name? If you can figure that out too.
Why would anybody want a girl around? I mean, all they do is talk a lot, and it doesn't even make any sense. They're not good at chess. They're not good at video games. All they do is talk a lot and show their gorgeous little body, and then they pretend like it's God's gift to the earth, and you can't touch it or have it.
Okay, well, you
well,
can't
who cares? The hell with them. The only thing they're good for is sex. A cat is good to hug and love and love forever.
Okay.
You're stupid enough to want to marry a stupid woman of any kind?
Okay. This
of this place? A human woman, man? Are you out of your mind? All they do is make you horny and then they leave and that's it. That's all they've ever been good for.
Okay.
Go ahead and marry a dog or a cat, but don't marry a human woman. They smell bad, everything. They expect you to be God's gift to them. And never give anything to you, do they? No, you got to go out with them 100 times. You never get to even know anything about them. To hell with them. They're stupid. They're women. They're human, especially American women, man. They don't even allow hookers. Why? Because, it's so horrible. They could sell everything else and screw everybody, but screwing people out of their money is a whole different thing, isn't it?
All right, do we need to hear more of this guy? Okay, so this kind of reminds me of the guy with the beard, right? Because this is what happens to him, given he's such a catch, and he takes care of himself so well and does such a great life. And by the way, back to my statement about this being his bedroom, that was the chair he was in when we were watching him before. And this is his room. This is where he plays video games. See the video game console on the floor there, right? Isn't that what I'm seeing? And I actually feel bad for this guy. I feel super bad for this guy. Although he's espousing disgusting ideas and opinions, it comes from a place of pain. The problem with this guy is not even the pain of being rejected and not being able to function socially. The problem with this guy is his real love is drugs and alcohol. See, that's why he can't change, because he's in love with drugs and alcohol, and that sort of is all he's preoccupied with. He's married to the drugs and alcohol, so human women don't have quite the same appeal to him, and then they don't treat him so well because he's a drug addict and because he's living here, and he doesn't understand what has happened to him and how they perceive him, and therefore he gets angry. And then he blames women for his problems, which is, isn't it interesting how we do that as human beings? A lot of that going on these days, folks. A lot of externalizing your internal problems. I see that rampant right now. This guy, I will tell you something. What's interesting about looking at this guy now as compared to when I saw him 4 years ago, I don't see this guy so much, but I see a lot of this process all the effing time these days. When Christina called for the rational revolution, these were the people we were thinking of, kind of. This is sort of the poster child for all that. But there's lighter versions of this in high-functioning individuals all over the place right now. And what's needed is rationality. Now, you couldn't, because he's a drug addict, and I'm not saying everybody's a drug addict, I'm saying people are caught in this thinking. And this guy could not be reasoned with. Rational revolution would not help this guy because he would have to get off drugs and we'd have to clear his brain up before we could start to have a rational revolution with this guy. But there are millions of people out there who are thinking, think about it, similar manner to this guy, who need a rational revolution. And I think most of you are advocates of the rational revolution. Again, ymh.store.merch. What's the website? ymh.merchandise to get the cups?
Store.ymhstudios.com.
Store.ymhstudios.com and get the Rational Revolution cup. Everyone proudly put their cup out there because this, and let me just say to be more, again, this is interesting to be that we're walking down memory lane because things like this jump out at me now. We can sort of look at where we are in history as compared to where we were then. A lot has happened in the last 4 years. Let's be fair. That's kind of, I didn't expect that about all this little look back, but this is kind of interesting. And as such, it's turning, it's changing, and of course the YMH world is very sensitive, very active in the rational revolution. They all want that. I get that, but look for it out there, and it's changing, it's turning. It's a time for a rational revolution. It's kind of taking hold. All right, gentlemen, I know from clinical practice you guys don't like talking about this, but what are you waiting for? Take care of it. Go to getroman.com/Dr. Drew now, because with Roman you get free online evaluation. No waiting rooms, no uncomfortable interactions. It's ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. You'll see a U.S. licensed healthcare professional who will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication's appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward and discreet. Getting started is simple. Go to getroman.com/Dr. Drew and complete an online visit. Take care of your erectile dysfunction. Take care of ED without leaving your home. Complete an online visit today to connect with a healthcare professional and take care of it. It's time. Listen, these are efficiencies now. We can do this all online. And why wouldn't you? You've been putting it off. Take care of it. Go to getroman.com/Dr. Drew now, and you'll get $15 off your first month. It is really time to take care of your ED. And remember, get started today, and you will save $15 on your first order of ED treatment. All right, keep going. What do you got there, Solo? Do I have to pick one? Oh, here. Oh, yes. Well, this wasn't way back. This is when
This was more recent.
Yeah,
but this
I came
is
on
what
the
you
show.
were like the most horrified by.
Oh my God, yes. So listen, this video and I have a long history together. So I was horrified when they showed it to me in this studio. So that's where I was, when you have a trauma, you remember the environment, vividly in which the environment, it had happened. This was that. Right over there is where I was sitting. I was disgusted. I almost threw up. And then I showed this to Jen Kirkman, who I thought was my good friend and has never spoken to me again since that appearance. Now, I don't know if it was this that turned her off of Dr. Drew or if something else did. I still have the kindest feelings about Jen Kirkman. I wish she would respond to my text and messages. I want to reconnect. And if I've done something heinous, I apologize. I'm sure it's something fake. I'm sure it's fake news, whatever it is, unless it's this. If it's me showing you this, I apologize deeply. This is, well, Jen almost vomited. She ran off the set and started gagging. Did you see that at all? Do we have that? Yeah. That was,
do you think this is safe?
No, I would call this very dangerous.
Okay.
It is a guy in a full leather outfit. And I took this video to New York City and did a live After Dark at Caroline's. And this video was, people got pissed when I played this video. People came up to me afterwards and were angry with me for showing such horrible stuff. So I thank you, Your Mom's House. Thank you for, maybe this is where I turned. Maybe this is where I because Christina felt triumphant after this. I think that she'd sucked me all the way into the Your Mom's House world. So here we are. There it is.
If it's his own septic tank, is it any different?
If it's his shit?
Yeah.
Well, it's not what you call healthy. There's a lot of bacteria growing in there, and some of it can be airborne. You can get pneumonias and things like that if he has any proclivity to this stuff. I'm noticing something this time that I didn't notice last time. What is that in the foreground? Is that like a ledge or something? Or is that a paper? What is that? Anyway,
I'm sure.
So I can't quite figure out what that all is. It seems to be a septic tank that he's dumpster diving in, so to speak. Yeah, no good. If it's other people's, stool is one of the leading carriers of infectious diseases. Now that the world is aware of infectious diseases, look no further than coronavirus, people, although that's an airborne illness. Stool-borne is the most common worldwide. So there we go. Next, please. Had enough of this asshole. I know we had a couple more versions of this later.
Hi there, guys. It's Pete again, and I'm here to do a little video. I wanted to use this butt vibrating toy that I bought, this new one, and I thought I'd try that in, and then I also wanted to try this double-ended fuck sleeve that has these massive bullets in them.
Oh my God. So I'm sure I was disgusted again. Yes?
Yep.
Yeah. And I know what it is about people that... I've answered people's questions about sex and sexuality my whole life, essentially my whole professional life. I did a show on radio for 35 years that did this stuff, but I never understood people that, I can't quite put words to this. It's the same, this guy's got the same attitude as that couple, which is this sort of, it's a boundary problem. I mean, when you're talking about sex and sexuality, you have to have clear boundaries. Like, I'm going to answer your medical question. We're not going to get into the sort of... This guy's getting into the arousal of the whole thing and sharing his arousal with you. And that's kind of disgusting. That's disgusting. And same thing with that couple. They want to tell you, show you how to do it. And they're imposing it on you. And you don't really want to see it. I don't really want to see this guy with the fuck sleeve. I really don't want to see it. Thank you very much. But he's gonna show it to you, and feels sort of like
they didn't send any batteries. So bad.
Oh damn, no batteries. Sorry.
I'm not going to be able to use the vibrating part, but the butt toy vibrates, so I'm sure that's going to get me off. And it's got this cool built-in cock ring.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you. I'm so happy for you. And that's sort of my general attitude. I'm so happy for you.
A friend of mine had one, and he fucks it with his boyfriend, and it's a double-ended dude. So I really want to try this because I like fucking stuff.
Okay. Good for you. And I guess it's because I know what sex addicts are, and they kind of. I know how miserable their lives get and how far down the rabbit hole they go. Did I identify this guy as a sex addict back then?
No, you said he's probably a serious loner that gets prostitutes. And he's sad.
That's the sex addict stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's sad for sure. Because I know where, like I said, I know where this goes.
Yeah.
It's sad. If he's, but the prostitutes may not be females. You know what I mean? He probably swings all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, before you were saying you're not sure if he's gay.
Yeah, I think it's Any Port in the Storm kind of thing, and he's showing us Any Port in the Storm. But when people have to, You Bet I'll Be Coming Up in May was sort of, I'm not sure he wanted the world to see that video. You know what I mean? This guy wants the world to see that video, and it's an imposition. There's a reason people feel intimate about their sexual arousal and their orgasms together and stuff. It's intimate. It's for those two people to share alone. When you impose it on the world, it's an imposition. Unless people are looking at pornography or something and they're seeking that. But this isn't that. This is him imposing it on us. But all right, so go ahead.
But first I'm going to try and get this in my butt and then turn it on. And it's even got this cool little remote control.
Okay,
and let's just see what happens.
Don't you feel that way too?
It's got a nice
Good for you. Congratulations, right?
Texture to it.
Congratulations.
I think it'll be.
I don't think I need to see this. I really don't want to see this time. You're going to make me see it anyway.
And it's got a nice built-in cock ring, which I thought was kind of cool.
But of course, this is the position I find myself in many times at your mom's house. And more frequently than I used to be more frequently than not. But this is definitely the stuff that makes me bring my hands to my face.
Well, this is what we wanted to see. If
I know you wanted to see it.
You.
As I said at the beginning of the show, shame is something I shall experience this show, and I'm ashamed for even watching this. And but okay, here we are. That's what the show's about.
But it does have kind of a good size head on it.
Oh, congratulations.
So it may take me a minute.
Yeah, we're good. We need every detail.
I haven't had anything in my butt since my last butt toy video.
Oh, well, was that yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Is that it? That's all I have to watch?
There's about 5 more clips, but we don't need to keep going if you don't want to.
Thank you. I want to see more diversity than more of this guy. And anything more I said about him back at the time? Was I equally uncomfortable back then?
Yeah.
I think I'm more.
You were super uncomfortable, which is why I made sure to pull the screen.
I think I'm more assertive now than I was then. I was trying to be a good guest. Now as the host, I can ask to please stop.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Keep going. I want to see a little more. We need a few more videos. Because there's many
from him or something.
How about an RPC? Come on, no. I want to see original how I felt about him back then. See if I can recreate the magic.
Black guys who love to fuck and fuck good. If you're a hot black guy and you want to fuck me at $23.95, if you want to move in, you can move in, but you gotta fuck me. I need to be fucked a lot, man. Get free food, free rent, and everything else, man. Here's the deal, man.
RPC, what the fuck are you doing,
Men
dude?
from jail, homeless, or you're a thug, you want to come move in, your friend can move with you too, man. Free rent, you get a lease and a key. Fuck me. Piss on me, beat me, I'm home here now. You see me, you want to come over today and try it out, man.
God, I love him.
If in my building, try it out. You want to fucking piss on me, try it out. Seriously, applied only as fuck, man. I'm looking for hardcore guys that mean it, want to do it, and I want to deliver it. I'm a hot white trash. Come to let's fuck.
So thank you, RPC. Thank you for giving us really what is the standout moniker of your mom's house, which is tried out, and home here now. Those are the defining aloha, Kratos, call it what you want. I don't have a good word for it right now for some reason, but it is the defining theme of the show, home here now. I'm sure because I know him now, it makes me worried for him, as I expressed him when I was seeing him, that he was going to get hurt in all this, and he minimized it. He was like, I don't really do that. And they come, they have a good time. I just want to entertain them. It's a fantasy, blah blah blah. Who the hell knows who would show up? And we really don't know if anybody did, because he wouldn't tell me, really. He sort of said a cop showed up or something, but all right, good for him. But I'm also certain that back then it made me sad. He looked sad and desperate, and his eyes looked kind of sunken and dark, and I just felt bad for him back then. I'm willing. I still feel bad for him because I worry about what happened to him. I didn't. There's something. I don't want to sound pejorative at all, but there's something more soft and kind about him in real life. That's about the best way I can say it.
Definitely.
Yeah, and this seemed harsh and hard, like he could be violent and stuff too, even. And I don't believe that to be so anymore. So that took some of the edge off this for me now, because I know him to be.
Yeah, I definitely get a different vibe from this video than I do like the other ones and other things I've seen him do with us. Like,
right.
He definitely seems softer.
Yeah, think about when he showed up for the live show that I was on.
Yeah.
Right. He was in like an evening gown essentially, or a bathrobe or something. He is not an aggressive, violent guy. Now, I do believe that one of his characters wants to be treated this way. I get it. And he says he doesn't really want it so he can show people that want to do that kind of thing a good time. And if you know, and if you remember, although we never really showed the second part of my video, when I went into his house, I went in and investigated his rooms, which are filled with costumes. And he explained to me what each of them were all about. And they all had kind of a sexual overtone to them. And so he's always trying to do stuff to make other people happy, he says. So good for RPC. I'm no longer, I worry when I see this one now, but I'm not sad the way I used to be. That one, he just looked like such a sad sap back then with this video particularly. So good for him.
Originally, you attributed it to meth. Do you still think meth was involved?
No, I don't. I worried about meth back then. I could see how I would have worried about that. Not so much that he was, meth has people do these extreme things sexually sometimes. And so I think that's what I was keying into. But no, I don't worry about that. Now, what's over his head there, if you don't mind?
Something like bow or something in the background.
Okay, that sounds like him. All right, good. I would have missed that entirely back then. So, all right, give me another one. Come on now. There's so many good ones. Oh my God. There's so many of these. We may have to do another show.
I want an adult hottie in my lap right now, under 26 right now, no frills, no excuse, big titties and intelligence. I don't care if she's a hood, rap, punk rock, or any kind of anything. As long as she's hot and here right now on my 37-year-old dick right now. Right now.
Right now. I had forgotten about this guy. Did I see this video first, or was there another one maybe I saw first?
You saw this on your second YMH appearance.
But I think I saw something else with him on it too. But right now.
This was the one.
This is the one.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I sort of said something about meth because that's stuff he doing with teeth and the extreme. It could be just mania too. Did I mention those things back then?
Yep. You said drugs, and you said he's probably dead. He's not dead though.
I have a deeper sensibility to the Your Mom's House videos now. So my instincts have sort of expanded and probably are more accurate. I don't, looking at him now, have the same certainty around that. The way, say, I did with the guy with the chair and the misogynistic bullshit, that guy. That guy I felt strongly could be dead. This guy could be sober. I feel like this guy could have made it through on the other side even. But he could be dead. It's certainly possible given how far down the road he is here with his meth. What do we know about him?
I think he lives in Spokane. And he was in the news a couple times. He got in some trouble at a Starbucks and just a lot of weird stuff like this.
Because of he's doing the Fed smoker stuff, right?
Yeah.
He gets paranoid, gets in a fight with people. Huh. Well, I hope he's sober now, and I hope he hasn't found fentanyl, because that will be the end. But we'll see what happens to this guy. See if you can find out more about him for the future. I'd love to know more about this guy. I don't want to see him. I don't want to visit him, but I'd love to know more how he's doing. Give me one more. I'll wrap this thing up. I feel like we need to do another one of these at some point down the road, but give me another one.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking for a white lady that's tattooed and dominant and be willing to put me in a dress and beat the shit out of me. Okay. Call me. I'm the sissy of Fremont Street.
Okay. Well, again, I have a hard time identifying this as a male. It's interesting that he looks like an old lady and wants to play with his gender identity. That's interesting. It's interesting to me that the gender conversation has probably moved along since we first saw this video, and we might look at this a little differently now with the gender play. I'm sure I was sad and upset by this guy's sort of loneliness and desperation, which I've come to become so accustomed to on Your Mom's House. People are lonely and desperate, and on TikTok, completely insensitized to all that. But here we are. Gosh, there's something else about this guy. Got a little bit of the cool guy teeth, so we probably zeroed in on the cool guy stuff with him. Don't get drugs or alcohol at all.
No drugs or alcohol?
Yeah, no drugs or alcohol.
Really?
Did I think about that then?
I don't think so. But why do you say no?
Because I just see no features of it in how he presents. I mean, there's no pressured speech. There's no somnolence. There's no the eyes have the eyelids are in normal position. There's no blown pupils. He's not grinding his teeth while he talks to us. There's not excessive motor activity. There's no irritability, inflation, grandiosity, all that stuff we look for. None of that. He's just a sad old man who wants
just
somebody to...
mental illness?
No, I couldn't say that. No.
Just a normal guy?
No. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. The reason I don't respond very much emotionally to this guy is because this guy's been knocked out of position by Norm. No, this guy and Norm have there's something similar in these guys. And Norm desensitized me to guys like this. Because you remember, Pigman, is that what he called himself? Piggy?
Pig, yeah.
Pig takes this to another level. And much like many things in your mom's house desensitized me, Norm kind of desensitized me to people like this. And I think this is kind of a Norm-esque guy. And I don't think he's working in any longer, but I'm going to bet he was like I want to say school teacher or something like that.
Oh, God.
I'm afraid so. Something normal, much like Norm was a banker, essentially a loan officer. It's going to be something in that kind of zone. And they're out there, guys. If your mom house doesn't teach you anything else, it teach you what is out there. And hopefully we celebrate humanity and all its diversity and all its wonderful manifestations. And I hope I've raised a little awareness about where it goes off the how do you say that? Off the farm a little bit, off the rails, where it actually is mental illness or drug addiction or horrible things. And again, even misogyny, again, that guy that was horribly misogynistic, if that person got well from his drug addiction and learned how to function socially, guess what? All that BS would go away. He wouldn't feel that way anymore. He wouldn't say those horrible things. So think about that. Then when people are, into these ridiculous, horrible feelings about the world, it's often some bullshit, substance, trauma, inability to function, something underneath it. Some of it can be treated, some of it can't. Some people are just sociopaths and psychopaths, but we don't tend to specialize in that here, though we have seen some of that. I'm surprised you didn't bring me the 4-stroke guy or the III or some of the real classics for me.
I got all those, but I feel like we've covered them and revisited them recently.
I haven't seen the Glasson guy in 100 years.
You weren't horrified by him.
I was confused by him.
Yeah.
Not so much him, but Tom's delight in him. That was a little confusing to me. To this day. And I saw Tom talk about it on Rogan, and it helped me understand it a little more, that just this guy's extreme glee at the whole thing was so ridiculous. And I get that now. I get Tom's sensibility a little more now. So, well, there we go. That was our walk down memory lane. If you like it, let us know it. Send us your emails. Let us know that this is something we should do again. There's still a lot of other stuff we can revisit, trust me. And I wouldn't mind seeing those again. Wait a minute. Hold on, I have an email update here. Speaking of emails, but anyway, I want to thank you for going with me down memory lane. It's been a very interesting experience. Learned a little bit about the world history and about where we are in the world too by looking back that way. Hi Hitler, my doctor claims that my girlfriend claims she comes when she's sucking my D. Naturally, I'm skeptical, asking a few times if she claims that she really does. Is it possible? It is possible. It does happen. The idea of her faking orgasms is making my dick soft. No, it sounds like this is a woman who's highly orgasmic, and some women do get so aroused by that experience that they will have an orgasm. But here's the reason I picked this email up. My college roommate also made brown gargoyle style like Annie. I thought Annie was a one of a kind. We have found another. And would brown about once a week, every 10 days. So we also had fear of the toilet. Could this just be an inner city thing? The kid was from the inner city. Let us know. If you have more gargoyle shitters in your life, please send us emails. Let us know. Let us talk to them. I think this would be an important anthropological investigation. I thought we had an N of 1 in the world. Turns out there are 2. I'd like to talk to that guy and any other guys that gargoyle, and whether we can find any common emotional threads amongst that cohort. So We got our work cut out for us. Thank you all for being here. Again, the email, drdrewafterdark@gmail.com. The voicemail is 818-253-1693. And your gargoyle friends can send us a voicemail too. I'd love to hear from them. They don't have to actually interact with us. And again, YMH.store, it's not up there.
Store.ymhstudios.com.
Rational Revolution, everybody. We'll see you soon.
All conversations and information exchanged during participation in the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.